Welcome back to the WL Costa Properties YouTube channel. Today I am joined by the lovely Gracie Mahady. Gracie is an entrepreneur from Dublin. She has spent many years dreaming about a life in Spain. Gracie runs a successful yoga, meditation and reflexology business, and after visiting the Costa del Sol many times, she has finally made the very brave decision to take her first real step to move here temporarily to explore the lifestyle before buying. How brave! You're literally weeks into your journey, fresh off that aeroplane, and now we're going to take a very honest look at your first weeks in Spain, and sometimes why the most important decision is to actually rent first before you buy. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here. Oh, thanks. As do you. Ditto.
So how are you feeling?
So it's been an amazing first month, I have to say.
First month?
Yeah. My first month was just a couple of days ago. So I'm 4 weeks in. I can't have imagined it would have gone the way it's gone in terms of just trying to settle into the culture. Like, I've made friends already, which has been amazing. Completely different from my life in Dublin. If you had asked me how Dublin was, I would say busy. Yeah. That was the word for me and my life. It was sincerely so busy. Here, I just feel like the shoulders have dropped away from the ears a little bit, like relaxation has set in a little bit more. It's been really good. Yeah.
Your story is a really inspiring one, and I wanted you to come and talk to me for a number of reasons, because I think that people watching at home will really identify a lot to your journey. Yeah. I also think it's really important that we talk honestly about the first weeks in a new country, and also, you know, why it's sometimes important to rent before we buy, but also you're an entrepreneur with a very successful business in Dublin.
Thank you.
And you are moving over here now to the Costa del Sol, bringing that business with you and really launching into life in Spain. So there's going to be a lot of questions that you're going to answer for people watching at home.
Sure, yeah.
Are you ready for the challenge?
I'm ready for the challenge. I'm always up for a good challenge.
So let's go back to the start. So tell people watching at home and listening at home a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, so I mean, I would have actually trained to be a yoga teacher out here in Spain almost 10 years ago. So I would have trained in Cadiz, in this beautiful little part of Spain, south of Spain. Really enjoyed my time there, and I have felt this kind of need to go back to Spain many times. I always feel quite safe in Spain. I love the culture. I love the people. I just think it's a beautiful place to be. So my decision kind of to come out here, I think, was at home. Like I said, life is so incredibly busy. I have so many boxes I need to tick all of the time. And if I could have a better work-life balance, and if I could take my business out here, but also enjoy my life a little bit more, that would be the dream.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that would be the dream for me. Absolutely. If I could just let the shoulders drop a little bit more, get lots of stuff done, still impact people the way I really want to in terms of teaching yoga, you know, having my reflexology business, which of course I'm extremely passionate about, helping women who are, you know, suffering through perimenopause and stuff like that. If I can bring that here, I will be the happiest person.
People at home watching, you know, you've done an incredible brave thing. You've built a very successful business. You're really well known in your scene in Dublin. You know, people watching might go, God, like you can't move to a new country. You know, that's a big, bold step. Yeah. What would you say to that?
I would also question, am I crazy sometimes? I would say, okay, is that a logical thing to do? However, I feel I'm putting the right things in place to make smart decisions. Okay. I've not just left a whole empire, not that it's an empire, but a whole thing that I've built and just made a quick decision to jump over here. Yeah. I've put plans in place. You know, I'm trying to figure out if Spain is my place forever, and also if I fit into Spanish culture, because I would want to too. I wouldn't want to just be an Irish person in Spain. I would want to fit into that lifestyle. So I think box clever. Really, I think that's really important, especially as an entrepreneur, as a self-employed person. If you're not thinking ahead, you're not working. That's the way I always feel. Yeah, of course. Because if you're not looking 6 months down the line and saying, okay, do I have my corporate clients in place? Am I getting back to people? All that kind of stuff. Then the ball drops, and that's when you're in trouble as a self-employed person. So I think you need to have fire in your belly. I think you need to, of course, make the brave decision to book your ticket, get on over here and see how things are going to go. And I think you need to know you're going to have tons of uncomfortable moments.
Yes.
I've had loads of them in 4 weeks of being here, but I also know, okay, I'm resilient, I'm adaptable.
Yeah.
I can get over it. I'll be fine. Have your cry if you need to have your cry, but you'll move on, you know.
Absolutely. But I think what you're showing people is that you can do both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In terms of, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Sure.
You can do both.
Yeah.
You can have built your business and then still decide, I want that business, but I also want the future to maybe look a little bit different for me.
For sure. Yeah.
But I think often people don't do that because they feel that they have to have one or the other. So you're really advocating.
Yeah,
I
hope so. I hope so. And I would have maybe loved someone like me to look at their journey and see, okay, well, how did she do it? What were the steps she made? And maybe I can follow suit, you know. And it will be different for absolutely every person and it's individual. But I mean, in my case, I'm lucky that some of my Irish clients are coming out here to Spain to do yoga retreats with me and to explore how it is here. And I mean, they like to stay on for days after the retreat ends and explore and, you know, be immersed in the culture just as much as anyone else. So I've been lucky in terms of I've built something really, really good at home. Yeah. If I can ship it all here, even better, you know.
And last year you ran some retreats over here for your clients. You brought them over. Did that, I suppose for you, spending more time in Spain, running your retreats, working here, did that just kind of cement the decision for you even more?
100%. I mean, it was like a learning curve to try and navigate running these retreats, sometimes with just Spanish speaking people in the retreat centers. But then I had to really pull from a place of myself where I'm like, okay, learn to communicate, you know, Google Translate's obviously brilliant for that too, but to learn to maneuver in a new way. It was a new challenge for me, but again, I've been met with friendliness, personable people wanting to help me and so on. So I consider myself lucky in that sense, you know.
So your first 4 weeks in, 4 weeks in, you're testing out an area, a neighborhood that you like. You know, what sum up to me like those first 4 weeks? I guess for anybody watching, like what are those early days really like?
I have many words to give you in terms of like, okay, adventure, that's for sure. Okay. Step out of your comfort zone, absolutely. It's completely different culture here. I mean, the time they eat is different to the time I eat. The time they go out to have their party, I'm normally asleep in bed with an eye mask on. It's so very different. So I would say just open your mind. That's the way I've felt in these first few weeks. Open your mind to the fact that this is a different culture. You know, you can always have your home comforts and bring them to Spain, but you kind of have to adapt, I feel, in order to go on this journey. Adapt and be open-minded and know that you're probably going to mess up 100 million times. I've said the wrong thing in Spanish. I have probably embarrassed myself a couple of times, but I'll get over it.
Of course you will.
You know?
Of course you will. How have you found people? Have they been welcoming? Have they been receptive?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I have found that people have been very kind of warm and welcoming to my, again, limited Spanish. Okay. I think that they've really appreciated that I've tried to order in Spanish, or if I get in a taxi, I'm trying to have a little bit of small talk. So I think people are very appreciative of that, because with Malaga, I think there's a lot of English speakers as well. And I think that little kind of fire in your belly to try to speak goes a long way.
100%.
I have found that. So I found everybody incredibly friendly. And where I'm living at the moment, it's a big Spanish community. Okay. So it means every day I'm trying. Yeah. You know, I don't get away with, hey, I don't speak the language. I have to try consistently every day in the supermarket, in the hairdressers, in the, you know, in my endeavors every day. I have to make a huge effort.
Now, I know that before you came here, you were doing Spanish classes and you were doing some kind of like immersive lessons and really throwing yourself in at the deep end there. Do you think that that's necessary for anybody that's planning to do what you're doing right now?
I think it's helpful, that's for sure. And I think when you get here, you'll be really grateful that you just sat and listened to your teacher, you know, opened your mind to, okay, personally, I feel it's a new box that you have to open in your head to learn a new language. It's like you're probably used to doing the things that you're used to doing in terms of your work life, or you look after your family and all these things. But to learn a new language and to formulate sentences and past tense and future and all those things, you have to flick on a switch.
Of course you do,
and I feel the classes I did, so I did classes for 5 months, and I just did it once a week with my teacher, who was amazing, very good to me. And I do a little bit of homework outside that too. And it's just really benefited me.
I guess you have to find, when you've said that, what's come up for me is you have to find, if you're doing lessons, that it's manageable for your life and that you can fit it in, right?
100%.
Because if you jump in and say, oh, I'm going to do an intensive 2 week, where are you going to fit that in with the rest of your life?
Totally.
Set yourself up almost to fail. So
I know.
I guess you need to slot that in and make sure you can commit to it then.
For
so
sure.
that you have what you need when you come over.
Absolutely. And for me, it was like 1 hour class a week. And then I would just dedicate an hour at the weekend to doing homework, which is tough as well because you're busy. But I mean, I think it's paid off in a huge way.
Yeah.
Just I can navigate, I can get around. I don't feel like I can't speak with people.
Yeah,
I have a little bit of an edge.
So I think people watching and listening are going to be really curious about, how have you met people? How have you made friends?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would talk to a chair. So, I mean, I'm quite,
That's a great skill to have.
I'm quite chatty, and I don't have a problem being in a group or anything like that. Like, my job at home is to carry a room constantly, to facilitate and that kind of thing, which I think has paid off also. How I've met people is a lot through like Facebook, expat groups and that kind of thing. People with skill sets that are similar to mine who I would actually like to collaborate with. I've reached out constantly. So I've met like very cool people where I'm living now, and it's more a case of they just invite you for a drink in the evening, and you don't have to commit to spending a huge amount of time with people that you essentially don't know super well.
Sure.
But just having a drink and hearing about their experiences and stuff it's been really nice for me. Yeah, just to shoot the breeze and bounce off someone else and
absolutely
tell them about my experiences and hear what they think and so on.
Do you think, in your opinion, that when you make those connections with people over here, that they're a bit more open than potentially back home?
100 million%.
People don't believe me when I say that. They're like, oh, you're just saying that, because you always want people to love Spain. But it's true, isn't it?
I feel I've bonded more in these last 4 weeks with some people who I've only known a month than some people I know at home years.
Yeah,
because
it's mad,
you're all in this kind of situation together in terms of trying to navigate. There's a language, there's bureaucracy, there's all these things that you have this common bond about. So I think you mesh together in a very unique way.
I think because it is very much like an expat vibe at times, as well as communities that you'll mix with where people are local and residents. But I think people just genuinely want people to succeed.
Yeah, I found that too, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing, because I think it lifts your spirits, doesn't it? When you see, I speak for myself, and you probably feel this too, women in business. I think sometimes you can be a little bit of a target, and I found that at home as well, where it's like, she's too big for her boots, or you feel that people might, be there for you on the journey, but then when you succeed, might not be as happy for you. I've found that personally quite a bit, which is upsetting, of course. Yeah. Whereas I have noticed here, there's no gatekeeping.
No.
And there's a lot of women, yourself included, who've said to me, oh, you should connect with XYZ. You should, this would be really good for you, and so on. So I found that really helpful. And I would hope that I would give that same thing to other people who
pass on the baton when the time comes, right?
Pay it forward and all those things, because it will come back to you.
For sure. And that's the social side of things. And then you are a successful businesswoman. You're highly skilled in your trade and your crafts and wonderful things that you do. And I know that your community on the professional side is also starting to grow here, and you're starting to, I guess, get your name out there over here. So how have you approached that?
Knowing that it won't be easy.
Okay.
I haven't gone into this thinking, this is going to be super easy for me, give me 4 weeks and I'll be doing my workshops and doing everything I'm doing at home. I've come in knowing, okay, you may have had this at home, but it's going to be a little bit different here. I've gone door knocking, if I'm really honest with you. I have my cards. I'm trying to speak a little bit of Spanish if the people I'm meeting are not speaking so much English, which has been helpful to know the little bit of Spanish before coming. I'm putting myself out there and not thinking that people know me as they do at home.
Sure.
Knowing that I'm a complete newbie. I'm a rookie here. Nobody should necessarily trust me in my work set. But if they do, I can prove myself.
Okay.
Does
so
that
that's
make
probably
sense?
important, isn't it? It's almost like being a bit more humble than you would have probably had to be back home because you're established.
humble pie is what I would say. I've needed to eat it here and say to myself, okay, you don't know anyone. Essentially, you have to start from the bottom again in terms of build your career again, prove yourself. And I know I can.
Yeah.
So that part doesn't trouble me. It's finding the right connections and all those things. And that's my journey right now, finding the right connections, being humble, and then just proving my skill set is as good as I know it is.
Amazing. Amazing. So no regrets so far?
Zero.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I want to talk a little bit about, so your best friend actually found me and Warner on Instagram.
He sure did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the universe was aligning all of the steps.
I know.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Dave has been my best friend since I've been 17, and we've very much grown up in each other's pockets, and
He's gas.
he's got okay, the funniest person you're ever going to meet. He's just hilarious. I think everyone loves a bit of Dave. But he's a homeowner in Ireland, and I think he listened to my worries and concerns because it's just so expensive there now.
Do you mind if we talk a little bit about that?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your headspace then in that moment.
So my headspace at home in Dublin, I noticed it. I was becoming progressively more frustrated.
Okay.
Because you're talking about like $500,000 for not an amazing property in Dublin. And it's very frustrating for someone. I mean, I've worked since I'm 16.
Of course.
I have my own business. And to be an entrepreneur and to be self-employed, you need to have a lot of get up and go. You need to have a lot of motivation. And you're your boss.
Yeah.
You need to show up every day. And if you don't, it's on you, which I appreciate too, because I don't like to, I blame myself if things don't go well, you know. But Dave has owned his property for a few years. And he's probably listening to me in his ear saying, oh my God, it's so tricky.
Okay.
To buy here, and will I ever get that opportunity? And yeah, just up against a wall and feeling a little bit frustrated in terms of, will it happen for me? Is that going to happen? And it's really crap when you think you've worked so long and you still can't
100%
buy a place.
That's a hard situation, and sadly one that we're just seeing more and more of.
Yeah,
the barriers to entry are just too tough for people.
Totally.
You know, people that should and are entitled to have their own home.
Absolutely. And I mean, Irish people have always been good travellers, and we've always gone here, there and everywhere. And obviously in places like Australia, there's a huge Irish community, and everywhere, even in Europe. But I think there's a reason so many of us need to jump ship now, and it's just unfortunate.
Sad.
Because like yourself, you're Irish too. You know, you have a fondness to your home, and it's home at the end of the day. It's just a pity for me that I don't really see a future there for myself anymore, because it's
too tough.
It's extortionate. Like,
it shouldn't need to be that way. So you felt that he was listening to you and probably
listening to my complaints.
Complaints are allowed.
Going, how do I fix this for this girl? Because I don't want to listen to her moan anymore. No, I mean, I've always talked about Spain, and, you know, I trained to be a yoga teacher here, and I have a real fondness for the culture and so on. And the climate, obviously, today isn't the greatest day, but the climate's typically fantastic, especially down here in the south, which I appreciate. So Dave and I were coming to Malaga in, it was July 2024, actually. So it would have been about a year and a half ago or so. And he said to me, because he's really good like this, he said, I've set up a meeting for you with this couple who have a real estate business. And I was like, you know, tons of trepidation. I was like, oh God, am I ready? And should I? And all this kind of stuff. But you guys were amazing, and you brought us out to your place, and you talked to me in a beautiful way that no question was too silly or too small to ask. So, I mean, this is why I felt a very big connection with you. And, you know, you've been incredibly helpful since I've arrived here and so on. But yeah, no, absolutely.
What do you think kind of compelled him to reach out to us?
Dave is very practical.
Okay.
He's a very practical human being, and he's a man at the end of the day. So it's like, okay, complain all you want. Let's do something about it. I love that about him. I think that's awesome. I think it's good to just, you know, cry for a bit and then go and do your thing. So yeah, he saw your face, Instagram rather, and he connected with it, and he just thought, okay, you know, Sandra's Irish as well, and okay, I see a little bit of a connection. And I think your social media is really good because it's personalized. And you can kind of have a laugh looking at your stuff, I'll be honest. Like sometimes the stuff you post, I chuckle and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. You know, that's really, you can feel a bond to you guys through your socials. So yeah, he thought it was a good idea
to reach out.
Yeah.
And it was great to meet you both. And, you know, that's what we're all about. We are a real estate agency at the end of the day, but we're all about giving you the advice and the answers so that you can make the right decision for you.
Yeah.
And in your case, it was very much coming over and make the decision to rent first, which is absolutely often the right decision for people.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've done that at the moment and you're testing out some neighbourhoods. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, initially when I had booked a place in, how I say it is El Palo, I soon realised it's El Palo. So I've been saying it wrong this whole time. But I appreciated in that neighbourhood, I have literally a 5-minute walk from my apartment to the sea.
Yeah.
So that's been incredible for me in terms of headspace and just, I mean, what a wonderful view every day. I don't have that in Dublin because I'm in the suburbs a little bit more. But I mean, the area's been wonderful in terms of as well having to like really kick myself up the ass to speak Spanish a little bit more too, because it's a big Spanish community. You know, I'm not seeing very many Irish, English. It's quite rare there. Like there'd be a few, of course, but not as many. So it's been really good to just immerse myself in that community initially to, get the ball rolling.
No, absolutely. And I think what you've done is great because sometimes people are not ready to buy. Not that they're not ready, but they don't know enough about the area. And if you get the location mistake is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make. And it's a very expensive mistake to get wrong. So like, it's very important that if somebody is unsure, there's a bit of skepticism, they rent first, they test the area, they get to know it, they figure out, does the area give me what I need, both from a practical house perspective, but also, as you said, in terms of, does it promote the right headspace? Does it give me the right balance in my life? Is there a community of people here that I can connect with and socialise with? Those things are so important. So I think what you've done is great. And I love that you like the area where you've
I do like it. I do like it. I mean, so far so good. But again, those things for me are vital. Imagine I'd move to a place, realise after spending so much of my money that 100%. I don't actually like the place. That would be devastating. So for me, it's so important to understand if I fit it and also if it fits me, essentially. 100%. And do I like it? Do I feel at ease if I'm walking down the street? Do I feel secure? Do I fit into the culture? And all those things, hugely important.
So something that you mentioned there, you know, safe, secure. Do you feel, as a young woman who has just relocated independently to Spain, do you feel safe here?
First of all, I love that you called me young. Let's keep that going for as long as possible. I'm joking. Do I feel safe here? Yeah, to be honest with you, absolutely. Now, you don't know what's around every street corner and, you know, fingers crossed, I always feel safe here. If I'm really honest with you, in comparison to how I've felt in Dublin in the last few years, which is a tragedy because that's my city, that's where I'm from, I haven't felt as safe in Dublin in these last couple of years. I feel here as though I'm not too worried about when it's dark at night and I might get an Uber back from Centro to El Palo. I'm not feeling super unsafe. In fact, I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm good, no stress. You know, hopefully it's always that way, of course.
Because I think often a lot of people that work with us, they are maybe, you know, retiring or they're coming as a couple. Sometimes they're coming alone, but safety is always a big concern for them. But I really wanted your take on it as somebody who's independently doing their journey, but also as a young woman, like how you feel about that. Now, I've always felt super safe here.
Good.
Super safe. And in general, most people I talk to absolutely feel the same. But I just wanted to get your take on that, which is really, really good that you've had that same experience, which is really good.
I think that, of course, when you come to a new place, you have to have eyes in the back of your head a little bit, of course. You're in a new environment. You can't just assume things are the way they are at home. You need to be checking places and noticing characters. And if there does seem like a few shady characters, you're staying away from those streets late at night and so on.
Of course.
But I would think your gut instinct, at least mine, would be fairly strong to know, okay, stay away from that street. That didn't seem so good and so on. 90% of the time, I'm feeling safe, not stressing so much. I know bus routes are safe and all that so far. I haven't had any experiences where I'm like, this is really scary. Or I don't feel safe or I need to call someone. Thank God, so far.
Really good, really good. Something that crops into my mind as I'm speaking to you, and this is really directed towards people watching at home or listening, is that I often hear from people that are working with us, oh, you know, I started following you a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, but I didn't reach out because I wasn't ready or I wasn't really sure what I wanted. What would you say to that?
I would say it's never too early. And even at home, friends of mine who are, you know, recent home owners, they just got a mortgage in Dublin. When I've had qualms about should I, shouldn't I, a good friend of mine, Jenny, actually said, it's never too early to reach out. No question should be too silly. You should just understand where you're at, like financially. And especially if you think, okay, I have a deposit saved, I'm all good, I'm ready to go. Perhaps you don't. You know, it's better to have all, knowledge is power, and it's better to have all, even if it upsets you and you're like, oh God, I need another 10 grand for this or whatever. Better to know. So I don't think it's too soon to reach out. I mean, I'm probably a good example of that in terms of we met a year and a half ago or so, and I'm still on my journey. So.
And when you first met with us and we discussed where you were at and we knew that your journey was more exploratory and it was a longer term thing, did you feel that we were still as welcome to you as we would be with somebody that's coming and ready to buy today?
I would say so in a big way, because I mean, if I'm posting stuff on Instagram, you're like, hey, that's so cool. Or, you know, I know that you take a genuine interest in me, which has been a beautiful thing. As even in building a connection with you personally, I have found you, like more of a pal than anything, to be honest, and just helpful and not, okay, she's not ready to buy. Hasta luego. You know, you're adapting to me.
Yeah, because we're all about building communities and supporting people and making sure that they have the right information that guides them through their journey. And for me, it's more about giving back and making sure that people have the right support around them so that they make the right decision for them.
For sure.
Not the right decision for me.
For you, no, that's been extremely helpful for me, because I don't feel pushed for time, and I don't feel like I've got to get back to these guys straight away. For me, it's a longer journey. Like you said, I'm exploring, I'm navigating, I'm figuring out if I fit Spain, if it fits me long term. I know short term it definitely does. I'm happy out hanging out here, but I don't feel against a wall with you guys at all.
Absolutely. So we've talked about the first few weeks. So what's next for Gracie? Like, you know,
the big question.
We actually probably need to talk a little bit more about like your work and the amazing work that you do. So what's next for you specifically professionally with the work that you're doing in Spain?
Oh, well, that's a long answer, but okay. So my first workshop is coming up in Spain now at the end of January, which I'm extremely excited about, and you're more than welcome to join.
Tell us where that is, tell us about it.
So that's going to be in a place called Atha in Welling, okay? And I'm collaborating with a girl for my first workshop. So she's actually a luxury manicurist. She's done my nails here. They're very nice, as you can see. But we're going to collaborate together because I think that's really important for me to start my journey here. So we're going to do this thing called New Year's Nurture Morning. So it's a few hours in the morning, and it's targeted towards women who are looking to set an intention for the new year coming into 2026. It's all about yoga. It's all about looking after yourself. There's a bit of guided meditation to it as well. But it's stuff that I personally love to attend.
Okay.
Little bit of headspace, no pressure on me. I'm facilitated the whole way through, and I don't really have to think for a few hours. So perfect for busy moms, for busy entrepreneurs, for anyone who just wants to give the space over to someone else for a few hours and just relax.
Fantastic.
The busy mind with so many tabs open, because I've been there. I understand.
That's taking place in January.
That will be the 25th of January. So that will be a Sunday morning in Atha in Welling.
Fantastic.
After that, in April, I have my third Spanish yoga retreat coming up, and that's in Antequera. So I'm very excited for that. I have my Irish crew coming over for that. I do have one space left if anybody's curious. But I mean, I would love to keep the retreats running here in Spain. Ideally, I'd like to do about 2 a year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the yoga and meditation covered, but as well for reflexology, I would focus in on things like holistic reflexology, facial reflexology. So I was trained by a lady called Ziggy Bergman, and she works in Harley Street in London. She does this kind of facial, which is known as, it's taglined as natural Botox.
Oh.
So it's super.
Just get me a bit of that.
Yeah, we can do that. We can sort that out. But it's just lovely. Her tagline is, it lifts the face and the spirits.
Okay.
So it's a lovely treatment to have. It's very therapeutic, and it's just extremely relaxing because we hold so much tension in our faces.
Yes.
All of us, from the masking of smile, 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 go here, go there, constantly talking, eating, all of that stuff. There's so much tension built up in the forehead and the jawline. So I would focus in on that. And then also, which has been a massive hit at home recently, menopausal reflexology.
Yeah.
Extremely, extremely important. I'm very passionate about that because I feel incredibly sorry for women who just are going through perimenopause and they don't fully understand it. Literally, your hormones are just declining a little bit, but it can have detrimental effects on you in terms of brain fog, in terms of road rage, things that are coming out that these women are like, I have never experienced this before.
Yeah, and we don't have enough information, or there's too much information and we don't know how that's relevant to us.
Exactly, and then it's overwhelming to start to try and navigate on your own. So for me, I mean, I've personally just enjoyed watching these women's journey with me over the last couple of years since I trained in menopausal reflexology, just to see them understand that someone gets it and that they're not losing their marbles and that everything is okay if they just put some things into place in terms of looking after themselves more. Typically with the menopausal stuff, I do like a four appointment consecutive, like you'll come to me, let's say every Friday for 4 weeks. And what I'll do is give you something to focus on that week aside from the actual treatment. So it could be 2 minutes of meditation in the evening. It could be your beach walk in the morning. It could be being a bit more selfish and not looking after everybody else and just focusing in on what you need, what your body is telling you you need, whether it's more sleep or better food or whatever. So yeah, I'm extremely passionate about it. It's my baby. It's something that I love. And yeah, I'm just very excited to bring it here too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And I'm excited to see, you know, how you start to immerse yourself more into life here and really how business grows for you. Because,
Me too. Yeah.
you know, Spain and especially the Costa del Sol offers a fantastic space for wellness, for holistic health.
Yep.
You know, there's great communities here. There's a real demand. There's an openness. There's a willingness to explore. So I'm excited to see how that evolves for you as time moves on for you in Spain.
Part of me wishes I could press fast forward to 2 years and be like, oh, how did all of that go? But I know I have to, you know, navigate the journey and, you know, see how it all goes, see how it pans out for me.
And that's the exciting part.
Yeah, I know.
So if people are watching and listening at home and they want to figure out more about your world, be it in Dublin or Spain, potentially attend some of your events and retreats, where can they find you?
So the best place to find me would be on Instagram. So it's literally my full name. So it's at Gracie Mahady. If you're looking for reflexology stuff, I have a different page for that, and that would be at Reflexology with Gracie. So I would post pretty consistently about events that I'm doing, about reflexology, just information and about things to remember, because we so often forget things about sleep or food or what we need just to balance ourselves. So that would be a great place to find me, and I update that as often as possible to keep in touch with people. And
amazing.
Keep
An inspiring story.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, and it's nice to hear the fresh off the plane perspective, you know, and I think as well, you know, opening up that cover, you know, just for discussion for young people that are maybe living in a country where they're just finding it difficult to progress with their life, exploring that there is other options for you.
There are other options, yeah. And I
mean,
if you're
prepared to be brave.
If you're prepared to be brave, because I know I could have kept on at home feeling frustrated and thinking, where's the window for me? It's so expensive here. Or I could make the move. And it is a scary one. Yeah. You have to be brave, but I think put things in place ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then it's not as scary. You don't feel as anxious, you don't feel as wobbly, and you can keep your center a bit better.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we've went through no regrets, really happy with your decision. Have you learned anything about yourself over the last 4 weeks that has shocked you?
Many things, probably. I would say I always thought at home I'm pretty resilient, and I have a strong center and I have a strong gut instinct. I think I've learned that amplified since I've been here, because it doesn't go my way every day.
No.
And you can have your tear. Like the other day I actually set out like 20 minutes to cry. I was like, if you need to cry, have your cry.
Can you force cry?
No, I couldn't. This is the thing. So I tried to force cry, and I was like, no, you have 20 minutes, Gracie. Have your cry and you'll feel better. Have your beach walk and then it's fine. And the tears wouldn't come out, and I was like, oh crap. So I moved on. But yeah, just the resilience and I suppose putting myself into situations that I haven't had to for a few years, in terms of I'm the new girl at the party. At home, people know me, and you know, I can bounce off people, and we have shared histories and so on.
Sure.
Here, I'm the new kid, you know, so I have to, yeah, show up.
Show up.
Show up as your best self, and yeah, every day will be different, but just keep your mind open.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Oh, you're so welcome.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. So if you're watching at home or you're listening at home and you can see yourself in Gracie's story, one of the smartest things that you can do is exactly what she has done. Come over, explore the locations, rent before you buy, meet with experts, but really get comfortable with the different areas along the Costa del Sol and the type of lifestyle that you would like to have once you move here. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. Ciao for now.